Morning, folks. You never know when you're going to get a video. It's just the way it's become. Usually the people that still reach out to me are people that suffer from cravings. And while they come from all ages, they usually, I find, come from the 50-plus crowd. It's like certain people start to succumb to cravings just at a later point in life. And as a result of that, they feel like they've lost control. Maybe they've lapsed on their fasting and they have started to eat when everybody else eats, and they've started to just sort of lose their way. They have no direction anymore or anything in their efforts. Well, that's what I wanted to talk about briefly today before I get my day going, which is soon about to happen here. I have a lot to do. But the reason you have that is because as you get older, you become more prone toward insulin resistance. And that doesn't mean as a diagnosed condition. It means you move in the direction of not getting the nutrients and your cells not getting the sugar they need from the foods you normally eat. As a result, you're hungrier. Usually for bad foods. And if you are having cravings for sweets, especially after a meal, that's a sign of early insulin resistance or the development of insulin resistance. So that's why you're having that. As to how you get on top of it, well, first of all, you understand that that's you. That is you. If you're facing the challenge that you need to face, and if you don't see that, then it's like Luke Skywalker backing away from Darth Vader and choosing not to engage him. Well, there's no movie, right? There's no, why watch anything, Your challenge is to be able to do that. When you're fasting and you really don't feel like fasting, that's the challenge. And you're going to have to do it again if you fail. And what happened was you failed, you lost the fight. You can rematch or you can lick your wounds and go another way. But either way, you're going to be right back here. You're going to be right back to the challenge you failed at, and you're going to have to pass it. So there's your motivation to stay the course. Now, what people say, Joe, that's all fine and good, but what happens when I'm traveling and I can't stay the course as well? Well, this is where opportunity cost becomes an issue. The reason you have trouble when you travel is because you're not using the travel to your advantage. Instead of traveling and fasting more, you fast less. So you say, well, I'm going to go out and eat, and I'm going to go pig out, and I'm going to use all of these things. Well, if you do that, you're going to lose your way even more. And now you have things coming up that you can't help. Everybody's schedule does. You run into problems that you can't get out of. You run into challenges. That's when you should fast more. That entire day, for instance, you could eat one item or one bowl or one saucer of food. You take the time, you order ahead of time if necessary, and you say, this is going to be my food today. I did that the other day with a bowl of rice. That's all I had. That and maybe an apple. But it can be anything. It can be absolutely anything. The power is never with the food. There's no magic foods. I've said this so many times, it's made me sick. The power is in the self-control that you contain, that you possess. And once you understand that, you're willing to fight any fight. So the thing that you're up against, that's what you're supposed to fight. That's the bully that needs to be punched in the nose. That's what it is to do. So don't back away. When you don't want to fast is when you need to fast. And when it's time, when you find yourself in a predicament, go right through and use that as an opportunity to eat less, not more. I don't know why people have this tendency in them to start picking out. And they say, well, it's I need to celebrate. I need to do this. You don't need to do any of those things. In fact, all of the people around you that you think would be offended if you don't eat it's the reverse. They would actually be offended, or they would respect you more if you hold your ground and say, no thanks, I've already eaten. I'm just going to sip on this lemon water. I'm just going to have this item, or no thank you, I don't need anything. If you can employ that, then you're going to succeed where you failed. I know it, because I have enough people write me to not realize that, and don't realize that you're right on the cusp of success. But you have to remember that time where you feel like you're getting your ass just kicked by food. That's the time you have to succeed, because you're going to have to do it eventually. Otherwise, you're never going to pass this level, like a boss enemy in a video game that you can't beat. Anyways, I'm about to get started. You guys have a blessed day.